All right. I just want to do a radio show. It's fine.
We're here.
Yeah, we're here. It's Thursday. Typically the best day of the week. I'm processing, man. I am in the midst of dealing with this, and in a normal, if I did not have to talk about sports for a living, I would definitely be sitting a lot in silence today, trying to kind of figure out how exactly I'm feeling. If you've if you've missed the memo, the Oakland Athletics announced today that they will be playing the 2025 and through 2027 seasons with an option for the 2028 season at Sutter Health Ballpark in West Sacramento. They are not taking on Sacramento as a city. They will be ditching Oakland and going by the Athletics. No team name, no Sacramento A's, no Oakland A's of Sacramento, no Las Vegas A's by way of Sacramento, no Oakland to Sacktown, Bay Area back down A's, nothing like that. They are just going to be the Athletics, and they're going to play their home games at the AAA ballpark of the Sacramento River Cats. As far as I know, they're going to share the field with
Yes,
the River Cats.
according to the fact sheet that we got, Major League Baseball will work closely with both the A's and the River Cats to ensure schedules are constructed to meet both Major League Baseball and minor league baseball guidelines. The A's and River Cats will have dedicated facility space. They will both play simultaneous.
So the River Cats will work their home schedule around the A's home schedule.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are just kind of the facts of where we're at. There will be a press conference today. Vivek came out with a statement that said, "I'm thrilled to welcome the A's to Sutter Health Park, where players and fans alike can enjoy a world-class baseball experience and create unforgettable memories." I sure hope so.
Okay, so I'm going to start there, Kyle, because the statement by Vivek, number one, like there are people who live in bubbles, right? That walk around this earth and have no idea what they're saying is true or not. That they think everything that they say is true, and that like their words are just words and they have no meaning. First of all, Sutter Health Park is a very nice facility. It's not a
Definitely.
world-class experience. It's not a world-class baseball experience. It's a 10,000 seat stadium, not a 30,000 seat world-class baseball park. There is no even in the facts here. They did a facelift on the park this last year. It recently underwent a multi-million-dollar facility renovation. It will be modified to meet Major League Baseball standards, but I don't know what Major League Baseball, including upgrading LED lighting and adding additional clubhouse. No mention of bleachers in the outfield, which of course it does not have. And I think the other thing Vivek is missing is that you can watch world-class baseball at Sutter Health Park, but that world-class baseball will be the opposition. It will not be the team that you are going to bring in and support here.
Yep.
Because the A's don't care. John Fisher doesn't care about actual baseball.
No.
And about putting a product on the field that makes sense.
Nope.
He is cheap. He is the worst owner in professional sports. And now he is your owner in Sacramento. So for a very, very small bit of time.
Right.
Now, there are some advantages that can happen here from Sacramento.
Sure.
And I hope that that Major League Baseball is actually going to consider Sacramento. I mean, we just listened to Ken Rosenthal. He mentioned expansion. He also mentioned that Sacramento is the 20th largest media market in America. I've seen it at 19 most of the time, 18, 19, 20.
Top 20.
And Las Vegas is 40th. But
not top 20.
Not top 20. No. Just like, most of the places that the Kings tried to relocate to before Vivek took over weren't top 20 either.
Virginia
Like,
Beach.
yeah, Virginia Beach. Yeah, I don't think it registered. It might have been 58th in the country. So look, I think you're gonna have baseball in Sacramento, and there are some pluses here. There's a possibility for expansion, but that would require a new stadium to be built, and I don't think that. I mean, these guys right now, Sacramento can't find loose change enough to buy a MLS team and to build a stadium. They just can't. They've been trying for the last like 6 or 7 years to get the backing to build the MLS stadium and to actually get a team. They've lost expansion because of that. I have a tough time believing that someone's going to walk in the door with like $2 billion for an expansion fee, and on top of that, another $2 billion to build a stadium, whether it's in West Sac, whether it's in the rail yards, wherever it is. Now, look, I'm a baseball fan, and I would love to see it, and I would love to see baseball in Sacramento. This one all feels cheap and dirty and really, really tough, and that's from someone who is an A's fan who would love to see baseball in Sacramento, even if that was the A's fully relocating and being in Sacramento and getting a new ballpark. I think that would have been a happy medium for at least for me. But for so many others, I think this is just a bad day, and it's a day where, once again, reading the statements, I hope somebody asks Vivek the tough question. The tough question is just sitting there, and it's, do you think this is hypocritical for you to save one major league sports city from extinction when he purchased the Kings, and allow another major league city to become extinct because you decided to help out a friend?
So here's where I kind of land on that specifically, because there's a million different kind of strings we can tug at here, but with that specifically, I don't begrudge anybody who is in Sacramento and excited that they get another AAA team. Like, that's really cool for them. And you'll get to see them play Major League Baseball teams. That'll be neat. If that's something you're excited about, I'm not going to begrudge you. I don't begrudge Vivek and whoever else was involved here. If this is the play for an expansion team, then fine, because the A's were done with Oakland. The A's were leaving Oakland regardless.
Yes.
What this is this is a bailout for John Fisher and for Major League Baseball from making the A's bend over backwards to give the city of Oakland what they want, just to use the Coliseum for a few more years. And B, it's a bailout so they're not homeless. Because past 2024, they didn't have a place to play.
Yeah.
And the season started, FYI. So they needed to get this hammered out ASAP to avoid going into an offseason where, they got to make a schedule. They don't know. And if you don't know where you're playing your home games, like that could have been really, really tough for Major League Baseball. So did Sacramento and Vivek bail them out in that way? Like, yeah, for sure. But I don't think that what this did, and I think the reason this is hard for me personally, again, I grew up in the Bay Area. I grew up going to A's games. I still go to A's games. I love the Coliseum, and I always will. But what this did for me, and I think the reason this is so hard for me personally, is it just, because here, full disclosure, I was going to go to some games this year, go to one last one with my folks, and peace out. That was it for me. Whether they stayed in Oakland for 3 more years or 5 more years or whatever, as long as they were ultimately going to Las Vegas, I was not going to go support that ownership group.
Yeah.
So them going to Sacramento is not like, oh, that doesn't change something for me. But I know people it does change things for, who were still going to go to games in Oakland, who were holding on to that. And I think what it did is it just kind of finalized the idea that, hey, man, they're not staying there. There was always this hope, as long as they were there, like, hey, okay, maybe there's that hope. Maybe it's still there. Maybe Vegas will fall through and they'll have to come back to Oakland. But now that's just gone. And this thing that everybody was kind of expecting to happen, all of a sudden, like, you're expecting bad news, but you're holding out hope that maybe it's not. And then bam, overnight, literally overnight, it's like, oh yeah, hey, by the way, it's done.
It's done.
Your hope that this could eventually be pulled out is gone. And so there's definitely a grief that comes with that and a mourning that comes with that. And I that's the part I'm having a hard time processing. Like I can sit there and I can direct my anger at Vivek, or I can direct my anger at Sacramento. I'm not going to do that. Like, did they help facilitate them leaving Oakland? Like, yeah, for sure. But they were out of there anyway, man. If you thought that the John Fisher led A's were going to stay in Oakland in any capacity beyond 2028 or so, whenever they get the stadium done in Vegas, if they get it done in Vegas, like, you were kidding yourself. The hope was, yeah, hey, maybe they just can't find a home. They have to stay in Oakland, and eventually things get sideways enough that the league forces Fisher to sell. But every step they've taken, not just this year, not just the last couple of weeks, not just the last, we're talking years of this, where MLB, Rob Manfred, and the Major League Baseball owners, all 30 of them, including John Fisher, have facilitated this every single step of the way. They have allowed this to happen. There have been so many points over the last decade where they could have been like, okay, hang on, this is enough. We're stepping in. This is not good for baseball. What is happening to this team and this city with this ownership group? This is not viable. Alas, they waived the relocation fee because John Fisher's broke. And they've done everything they can to undermine the fans and to demean the fan movements that have happened to try and keep the team in Oakland. Baseball has facilitated this every single step of the way. It was going through. The A's were leaving. So Sacramento, is it a little dirty? Like, yeah, it's not my favorite thing. But if this is truly Vivek Ranadive going, hey man, we want an expansion team here, and this is our opportunity to kind of show that this is a city that would support a Major League Baseball team, then you know what, man? All right. Fingers crossed it works.
Yeah.
But I am wary that the A's are going to come here and suddenly be like, oh, hey, big time investment. The owner's broke, dude. He's not going to invest in the team just because he's in Sacramento. I put the over under at 200.5 wins in the first 3 years there in Sac. Almost everybody was like under, way under.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're looking at. So I hope this works out for Sacramento in some way. Maybe Fisher and co fumble the bag and they wind up staying here instead of going to Vegas. All right. I mean, whatever. But it's really hard for me as a person who adores the city of Oakland and adores the Oakland Athletics to be anything other than deeply